Welcome, welcome, welcome to another session of Fire Up 2 author meet and greet today. As you all know, Fire Up series is a transformational anthology series where we are sharing stories of inspiration, hope, to uplift others, to share inspiring stories, light a spark, and get over all the noise, negativity, and the news that is around us. So today we have a very special person joining us. She is Vanessa Bryson, a certified speaker, trainer, and coach. She has faced what many would call an unwinnable uphill battle throughout her life, but she is thriving on top of that, and she's winning every battle, and now she's also empowering others and equipping others to fight their own battles and to help them win. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's so good to see you.
Absolutely, thank you. So would you like to share a bit about yourself, your journey, and some of the challenges that you've faced so far?
Sure. I would say one of the first challenges I faced was being a single parent. I raised my son as a single parent, and I'm proud to say he's 31 and just completed his PhD. So I think I did a pretty good job there raising him. Early on in his life, I was uh, diagnosed with uh, thyroid cancer, and I faced that with no insurance as a single parent. I've been married and divorced 3 times, and those marriages have led to many challenges. I've had foreclosure, bankruptcy. Just if life could throw it at you, it's thrown it at me. Um, and I've risen above all of that. But I would say the greatest challenge that I have faced is the one I'm currently in, which is metastatic stage 3 ovarian cancer that I was diagnosed with in May of 2017. And while it has been a battle, it's one that I'm still winning. And it's one that I would walk through time and time again because of the lessons and blessings that it has brought to my life. And that's what kind of brought me to you is I want to share that with other people and let them know that when tragedy comes to your life, it you don't have to look at it as tragedy. It could also be a repositioning or a setup for greatness. So it's all in how you look at it and what your perspective is.
Absolutely. Perspective is how we look at it uh, from different angles, and something that causes us to fall down and never want to get up, or just take it up as another, just a small drop and get up. And even after all the different challenges that you have been through, and still having that uh, inspiring fighting spirit is such a great testimony. And it's really a blessing, and I'm sure your story is going to help inspire many, many more people. On there are a lot of people who give up at the smallest of challenges, and because they don't know better, they don't know
Right.
that they can be gotten over, and there are other people in front of them who have done so, and not just small challenges, major challenges.
Mhm.
So thank you for being ready to share that story and help uh, bring about that little ray of hope in a lot of people's light, to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. Exactly. And if you had told me 5 years ago this would be my platform, while I love to talk, I was not the person that was so open about my faith. I didn't share my faith with people. So if you had told me this is what my platform would be, I would have argued with you. But this is where I just know this is where I'm supposed to be. Um, I can't put into words how at peace and how it just feels like all the puzzle pieces finally fit together. That the roadmap that it took me to get here was necessary, and it was a stepping stone to give me the resources that I needed to survive this journey and to thrive through it, not just exist through it. So while those challenges were very challenging, I'm thankful for them. They say 2020 or looking back is 2020 vision, and that's so true. But sometimes it helps to have 2020 vision while you're going through the tragedy or the setback. And like you said, sometimes that's hard for people to see, but it's sometimes just rethinking one simple thing. And I think the thing that I hung on to the most through this journey was being a believer. God knew that this was the path I was going to take, and He's already equipped me to succeed. Everything I need to succeed is already in me. So once I realized that and could call on that and bring those tools up to existence and put them into play, that's when I realized, hey, I think I'm going to be okay. You know, on paper, I may look like I'm dying, but I'm really going to be okay. And that's just life changing, especially in a time like this when you can realize that every fiber of your being, this is not going to be what kills me. This is only going to make me stronger. And I just want to shout that from the rooftops to anybody that will listen. So I guess your audience is my audience this afternoon.
Absolutely. And God works in mysterious ways, and uh, there is a purpose to the pain as well. And
Exactly.
like it said that He never gives us more than the threshold that we can withstand, and He's always
I
there with
think he
us.
thinks I'm
And
Wonder Woman, though. I'm going to get me a little Wonder Woman uniform.
absolutely. And yeah, so that is definitely there. And using all of our tests, which are now turning into testimonies, and
Hmm.
uh, helping others in their own journeys, that uh, God is there, and
Yeah.
we are
And
not.
two, I think learning that your mindset is so important to you succeeding in your health journey. Um, that was a really big. Um, I don't want. I don't want to say it was a lesson, but that was a really big key to my success as well. Is um, learning how mindset plays a role in that. And I learned that early on. I learned that with my thyroid cancer journey. So I had that knowledge. Like I said, he's what you need is within you. So I had that knowledge, but my cancer journeys were about 25 years apart. So maybe I had forgotten a little bit of that. But it only took reading a couple of books, recalling a couple of exercises, and all those tools came right back up to the forefront and helped me continue on with this cancer journey. And it's just amazing to me to look back at how, like I said, the things I've gone through that have been stepping stones that have served me successfully in this journey. And I think so many people get stuck in the why me or the negative aspect of why they're going through this, that they don't see those stepping stones, and therefore they may feel like they don't have the capabilities within inside them. But um, if I could just teach them to look at it from a different perspective, and I like to start as I mentor people through this, I like to start with reminding them, if you're a person that prays, what have you been praying for? Have you been praying to meet Mr. Right? Have you been praying to meet the person that God has designed for you to spend the rest of your life with? Have you been praying for a specific job? Because maybe those prayers, bless you, whoever's sneezing, maybe those prayers are being answered in this circumstance. And there's your silver lining, because God's getting you repositioned to have your prayers answered. So, once you try to look at it from the silver lining perspective, not only does it make your journey a little bit easier, but who can't get excited knowing that God's leading their path? That's just fabulous, to know that God's in the driver's seat. So, who wouldn't go with him? So that's kind of what I've relied on. And I feel like it's served me well, because I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I have had very minimal side effects from chemotherapy over the years, and I've been in chemotherapy 4 or 5 years. I just recently opted out of chemotherapy because I was listening to my body, and I knew that it was killing me. Um, I told my son one day, I said, I feel like I'm sitting here waiting to die, and that's not what this is about. So I quit chemotherapy, and I have started on alternative therapies um, that the medical community doesn't necessarily disagree with, but there's no scientific evidence from a medical perspective saying that it works. But I have received my oncologist's blessing, and he's all on board with what I'm trying. So that made me feel good. And God's still in control. He's led this journey from the beginning. And the day that I was diagnosed, the first thought I had was that I was not going to die from this, and I've clung on to that. That's that's why I keep fighting every day. And some days are harder than others, but lately the days to fight have been pretty easy. So that's a blessing.
And I'm sure the days will get even better and better, and you'll be completely healed and recovering soon.
Amen to that, sister. I will be shouting from the rooftops then. I'll hire me a hot air balloon and go cross country.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing the video of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So what would you say to people who are, who would have received a similar diagnosis and are wondering like how to carry on?
It it's hard. I'm not diminishing the fact that hearing you have metastatic ovarian or metastatic cancer is hard, because that is hard. That rocks you to your core. But I want you to not stay there. I want you to say, okay, fine, but I'm going to show you who I am. And I'm going to show you through God's grace and mercy. And He's going to lead the way. And we're going to walk this path together, because He knew this day was coming. And He did not set this up to be your doomsday. He set this up for you. You're being set up for greatness. And I know that's hard to believe. I know that's hard to hear, but it's the truth. And I really feel like once you wrap your mind around that, that you don't have any chance but to succeed. Um, and I want you to start off running a race that you can win. And you can't win if you're going to go down negative Nelly Avenue, because that's always a dead end. So, you know, the saying here in the South is put on your big girl panties and let's get ready. So let's get ready. Let's put on our fighting shields and our armor of God, and call all the prayer warriors that you know, and get your prayer support team in place, get your care team in place. And one thing that I would encourage with that is to be sure that your care team is all on the same page. You don't need four people to say, yeah, we can win this, and one saying, oh, no, you can't. You need to lay down and rest. You'll have time to rest when you're dead, and this is not the time for that. This is the time to get up and fight, and everybody on your team needs to be of the fighting nature. And it's a time to clean house. It's a time to rid your body of negative thoughts, negative self-talk, negative people that may be in your life that you've tolerated. All of that causes stress to your body and your immune system, and you need to distance yourself from that. Um, and just this time is about you. And that was another thing that was hard for me. I've Being a single mom, everything that I did was to be sure that I could provide for Miles the best way possible. And I always put myself last. But this is the time that you need to be first. And you should make no excuses about it. It's my time. I'm going to be first, and we're going to win this battle. And just go forth in confidence and faith, believing that you're going to succeed. And I from experience, like I said, because I'm still here, you just can't lose. You can't lose. It kind of makes me think about that saying that shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll still land among the stars. You know, because yes, I still have cancer. I'm healing myself from it, but according to the doctors, I still have cancer. But I'm still blessed every day. A blessing comes into this house every single day that probably wouldn't have come had I not been of the mindset that I am, and um, as open to walking this path in faith as I have been. I actually got a gift this morning from a friend whose mother just passed away. And when I saw that it was from her, I immediately texted her and said, oh my gosh, why are you sending me a gift? I mean, your mother just passed away. And she said, her mother was a cancer patient. And she said, you just inspire me. You inspired my mother. And I love you, and I wanted you to have this gift. And yes, I know I didn't need to spend the money, but I wanted you to know that I appreciate what you've done. And that touched my heart. I mean, that, I can't tell you how that made me feel. And um, I post my happy mail every day on Facebook because people are sending me cards. It's funny. I did a video on Facebook the other day and told everybody I had quit traditional medicine. So of course now the general consensus is, well, she's going to die soon. So everybody's sending me happy mail, and telling me how special I am to them and all that. So I post that every day. And then that has prompted people to comment, the things that maybe I have taught them or encouraged them through or whatever. And I still keep going back to, if you had told me this would be me 5 years ago, I would have said, no, I don't think so. But it's truly a blessing, truly a blessing. And I'm honored that God thought I was capable enough to fulfill that, and to be that light of hope and inspiration to others. It's very humbling.
Yes, yes, you are. And I'm sure with your story reaching out to many, many more people. It would also encourage those who don't know you as well to get that spark of hope and inspiration. Uh, so, how has your journey been with the Fired Up to collaboration?
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. I mean, I knew of you through Wendy, my friend Wendy, who was in the first book, and I just there's this special place in heaven for people that deal with people that have chemo brain, and you've earned a crown, honey, because I forget deadlines, I forget meetings, and you just have such grace and patience with me, and I've I've truly this is definitely another blessing in my journey. And um just last night I couldn't sleep, and I was sitting here doing my needlework, and I remembered that you had emailed me my edited version, and just reading through the changes that you and your team had made, I was just blown away at how reading the chapter felt like I was sitting down having a conversation with a friend. And that's how I want the relationship to be with people that I mentor. And it really struck me then, the kind of character that you have. You know, I've never met you in person other than this, because we're on other sides of the world from each other. But your heart and your character, definitely shine through in how you work with all of us. And you definitely you're definitely walking the walk and talking the talk, and you are changing lives. And I'm so happy to be uh, part of that team and that journey with you. And if anybody's on the fence about joining for the next publication, I say hop on over, get on board, because it will be the best experience um, that you can go through. And it's who thought writing a chapter would be so easy? You know, it's I was kind of nervous, and it's really been a breeze. So I think it's fabulous, and I couldn't recommend y'all highly enough. So I say thank you
Thank
hundreds
you
of
so
times.
much.
So I
Thank
think it's
you.
fabulous. Fired up and fabulous is what I think it ought to be.
Thank you. And like when I was reading your chapter and how you mentioned that all those personal development books that you were looking out for your team to read also helped
Hmm.
you in your journey, your mindset. And also, I was talking to Donna, where she had mentioned that in her childhood, she was reading 9 books a day. Like whatever is in
Wow.
the library, she used to check it out. And during the weekends, she used to take 20 books home.
Wow.
So, yeah,
See,
so how.
that amazed me hearing her say that, because I didn't learn to love to read until well into my adulthood. Um, I was probably 28 or so before I found a joy of reading. And I was the kid, and I had good grades in school, but I didn't like to read. I was not the kid in the library. So that just amazed me when she said she read that many books as a child.
Yeah, and books do make a difference. Books, sharing your stories, either even on uh, different speaking platforms or Facebook posts, blog posts, videos, just sharing your story because it's unique, and there are so many other people who might get touched and inspired
Right.
by those. So uh, because it's your unique story, you're the only person who can tell that. And it's definitely gonna make a difference in the world. So I think we touched upon it, but would you like to share again about who are your ideal or dream clients, and how do you help them in their journey?
I just really enjoy working with, um, I say women just because I've never worked with men. I'm not opposed to that, but I just really have a heart for women that are going through tough times and feel like maybe the world's against them. Because I'm here to tell you, it may look like the world's against you, but if God's on your side, nobody can come against you. You may have to put some armor on and get prayed up and uh, rework a few things, but you've got the best person on your team if you can just hold on in faith and believe. And I just want to help people see the silver lining in their struggle that they're going through, because it's I say that struggles come to us to either one, teach us a lesson, or two, be a blessing. And I just like to help people find out what that is, because we're not put here on this earth to suffer. So when bad things happen, we need to figure out what are we supposed to be learning here, or is this an opportunity for me to receive a blessing or to be a blessing? And sometimes it takes an outsider looking in to help you see that. And that's where I come in, because I've walked down so many different paths of hard times that I can speak to a lot of things that people go through, and just offer a different way to look at things. That doesn't mean that my way's right, but you'll be a lot happier looking at it from my way, because it brings joy and blessings, and the world needs more of that for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Wendy. Wendy says you're amazing, Vanessa. And she also says that she was always checking out piles of book as a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So where can your clients find you?
Right now, my website is under construction, but I do have a motivational page on Facebook. It's Vanessa Bryson, motivational speaker and survivor. And I'm on Instagram as Vanessa B Inspires. And they can reach out to me through Facebook Messenger or direct message me on Instagram. And I would just love to, if you just need to chat, just let me know. I'll get on a Zoom call with you or whatever. Um, I don't want people to suffer alone. I don't want people to suffer at all. So if you um, if you need somebody to be hoorah in your corner, I'm your girl.
That's a wonderful offer. Thank you so much for being ready to support others who are walking on the same uh, or a similar journey. So thank you so much for taking out the time today. And any last few words that you would like to share with people who are going through difficult times? It could be health problems or um, personal challenges, financial challenges. What's your words of wisdom for them?
Take it day to day, and it was not sent here to tear you down. And keep looking up. That's where your help is. And keep smiling.
Absolutely. Keep looking up. Don't keep focusing on the problems at hand. Look at the solution, not just be completely focused on the problem and miss out
Exactly.
the blessings that are already in your life. So thank you so much, Vanessa, and we look forward to reading your story and your roadmap in the book. coming out next month. And tomorrow we'll be having a chat with Sarah at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Sorry, EST. So we look forward to that. And thank you once again, Vanessa. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.